Welcome, everyone, to the WellSprings Home Care podcast, located in Chester County, Pennsylvania. I'll be your host today, Justin Curry. I'm the owner and a certified senior care manager at WellSprings Home Care, and I'm here along with my two four-legged co-hosts, Goose and Remington. So you might hear them once in a while in the background here. So today we're going to be talking about how to fund in-home care. Now, a lot of families are really caught by surprise when a loved one goes into the hospital and, they're maybe discharged from a skilled nursing facility, or they have a fall and, they're in need of immediate assistance at home. So a lot of families don't really know where to turn, how to fund this in-home care. And luckily, there's a lot of different options out there for families to do this. But unfortunately, without the proper knowledge and the background, you're not really sure where to turn to next. So for those of you that don't really know, now home care is where we bring in a non-medical home care aide. And essentially this can be a direct care worker, it can be a CNA, which is a certified nursing assistant, or an HHA, which is a home health aide, right up until, we have LPNs on staff as well that come in and help out. Now this can be a real financial burden to families, especially if they're caught by surprise. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into some of the different options that we have for paying for in-home care. The number one option would definitely be private pay. A lot of families, they have savings, or they have a family member that's able to help out, or any annuities, stocks, bonds, things like that is generally how it's paid for. But there are a lot of other options as well. We'll jump into actually veteran pension. So if you were a veteran or a surviving spouse of a veteran, there is a good chance that you may qualify for funding from the Veterans Administration. There are a lot of requirements to meet. Usually they have to be age 65 or older, totally or permanently disabled, a patient in a nursing home receiving skilled nursing care, and receiving Social Security disability insurance. So there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of asset limits and income limits as well. So there are 3 different veteran benefits. The first being the aid and attendance benefit that pays for home care, and that's actually probably one of the best benefits that a veteran can get, is because I believe it's around $2,600 per month in paid home care services. So it can be really helpful, but like I said, the qualifications, the pre-qualification requirements are pretty stringent. The next would be the basic pension improved income. That's a very rare benefit. We don't see that often here, but it is an option. And then a housebound benefit. And typically housebound benefits, they only allow for about up to 2 hours per day of care. So not a lot is covered by that. For a veteran's benefit, you definitely want to look to the aid and attendance benefit first, if anything at all. So that's pretty much all that they offer on the Veterans Administration side. Another really good option is long-term care insurance, and a lot of families actually are unaware that their loved ones, their parents or their grandparents' policies actually pay for long-term care insurance. So if you're looking for care for someone or even for yourself, the first thing you'd want to look into is the policy. You'd want to call them. You'd want to, you give them the policy number, you give them the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, and they can provide you with all the info you need. And you can find out from them, if home care, non-medical home care is covered by the long-term care insurance. Another option would be a reverse mortgage or a home equity line of credit. Now, obviously, this would be if you've built up equity in your home over time. This is actually an option when you talk to your bank or whoever might have given you the loan. It's an option to pull out that equity and actually pay for home care services with it. So you can use past equity to help out with medical bills and things like that. And another option would be a life insurance policy. So a lot of life insurance policies, it really depends on the provider of the policy, but I always recommend, giving them a call, seeing what different options there is. Different policies have different requirements, different qualifications. So if you call, they'll be able to help you out a little bit with that. Another option would be Social Security. Social Security is not going to offer a whole lot generally. Usually that's just kind of what the seniors collecting from the government, for the Social Security that they're being paid over the years. And another one is a home care loan. So this one's a little bit of a, you're not going to see it too often. It would be more so if a younger family member took out a home care loan to help out their parents. They're not typically going to give a home care loan to an older individual that's looking for, medical services. And the next one would be state programs. So you can get state programs. Two of the ones that are kind of most common in our Chester County area here would be Chester County Department of Aging. There's a lot of different options. If you go to their website, it's at chesco, chesco.org, O-R-G, and it'll show you a bunch of different options there, but unfortunately the hours are very low. It's really up to you if you want to spend the time, putting in the application, going through the process. Sometimes it can be up to 2, 3, 4 months to get approved, and then you're only getting, usually 2 to 3 hours of care a couple times a week. So it's really a balance of whether it's worth it or not. The next one is the options program. And the same thing with the options program. It's going to be very low hours of care. In my opinion, it's hardly worth the effort of going through the application process. Next is going to be Medicare Advantage. So Medicare traditionally never paid for home care services, for non-medical home care services. And now in 2019, January 1st, 2019, Medicare Advantage started paying for non-medical home care services. But because they don't really have the budget for it yet, it wasn't really rolled out until January 1st of 2020. But the problem with it is this takes a little bit of time. Obviously, they need money. They need the funds to fund the home care. And unfortunately, something that transitions that quickly, they don't really have the budget for it. So we're, a few months into 2020 here now. And as a home care owner, I still have yet to see Medicare Advantage paying for anyone's home care services. I'm sure there are instances where they are, but it is very rare. But it's something to look at in the future for sure. The second last one here is going to be Medicaid. So Medicaid, it's called the Home and Community-Based Services waivers. So there's a lot of different waivers that you can apply for, and Medicaid, it has to do with lower income individuals, but it's a very helpful program. So with Medicaid, traditionally you can get a lot of hours. We have certain individuals that are up to 22, 24 hours a day care. So Medicaid can be very helpful in those situations where it isn't a low income individual. The only downfall to Medicaid would be that it does take a long time to go through the process, go through the application, and that would be the only struggle with it, as with almost any type of insurance. So the sooner the better. If you can foresee anything coming up, or it's you're starting to have some medical difficulties, it's definitely good to start looking at that option early, and then you can at least get the process done. So when the time does come, it's a simple couple steps to implementation. And the last one here is going to be. It's called the LIFE, Living Independence for the Elderly, and it used to be known as PACE, P-A-C-E, and that's another program that's got very, very strict requirements and fairly low hours. In our entire company, we've only seen this once, and we aren't currently a provider for the LIFE program. And that's just because it's very rare and it's very low hours. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that it is an option. And that's pretty much it. So your best options for paying for home care are either going to be private pay, which obviously is not an option for in some situations for some people. So the Veterans Administration is a good outlet, and also Medicaid, especially for lower income individuals. Medicaid can really help out. And if you do happen to be over the asset limit with Medicaid, you can actually spend down. So if you're receiving home care services and your account's kind of dwindling down, as soon as you get below that point, that's when Medicaid will actually kick in and start pitching in and help out. So that's definitely an option there. But other than that, if you want any more information regarding that, please feel free to visit us at wellspringshomecare.com. That's WellSprings and homecare.com. And if you reach out to us on there, we can send you any information. We have a little ebook on the funding in home care that might be able to help you out. So in ending, all in all, it can be a real financial burden and a real financial shock to families looking for care for their loved one. Obviously, it's an emotional situation. Any questions you have, further to this podcast, please feel free to get in touch, and we can always help out. So thanks a lot for stopping by. Have a good